Hey, good morning. Happy Tuesday. I'm Rita Hickman, body mind expert, shiatsu massage therapist, and I help women who are healing from or trapped or stuck in narcissistic relationships, whether it's a mother, whether it's a father, whether it's a son or daughter, brother, sister, a spouse, new new love of your life. Whatever it may be, narcissism is a problem that's become a really big deal in our country. It started to come out of the shadows, and women are brave enough and strong enough and smart enough to start standing up and saying, we need to do something different. And so, this is what I'm here to do. I'm here to help women look at themselves, look at their lives, and really make positive changes in a good direction, which allow them to move forward and create an amazing life and have an amazing life, despite the fact that they have a narcissist in their life. Now, most people, when they talk about narcissism, they talk about romantic relationships, but in reality, a lot of the women who find me, they're women uh, who started their life with narcissists in it, usually their mother. It's kind of odd because, men are the ones that are known to be narcissists, and mothers who are narcissists are really sort of under the radar. Nobody really knows what to do or what to say or how to handle it. And there's a lot going on when your mother is someone who's so self absorbed that the needs and wants of her children are, the last on the list, especially, if you're a girl or not the chosen one. You end up with quite a few challenges in your life. So today we're going to explore a little bit about the curious side effect of having a narcissist mother. So one of the commonalities of all the women who find me is that they're surprisingly successful in many areas of their life. They are smart. They have, risen to a position of authority. They are creative. They they've had success in many, many areas of their life. And it's in these small things, in their personal relationships, in the holidays, and trying to get along with their mother, or their mother getting older and now they have to be her caretaker or deal with those issues. So, the curious side effect is that many women who have narcissistic mothers end up some of the most successful, smart, capable, amazing women around. I think it's because of the adversity. When you have to deal with the pain of your mother rejecting you, when you have to deal with the difficulty and the conflict and the stabbing in the heart and the ripping apart and the depression and the self-esteem, and when you have to work through those at a very young age, you either figure it out or you self-destruct. And the ones who have self destructed have usually become narcissists themselves, and they're in a pretty dark place. But the ones that were required to somehow pull themselves up by their bootstraps as a child, to find solutions, to look for answers, to achieve, either because they were scared not to achieve, or it was the only thing that they got appreciation or approval for, are those achievements that shining star on them. So it's a very interesting, conflict of, you see these beautiful women who are successful in so many areas of their life and tough and strong and smart, and but when it comes to personal relationships, when it comes to their mother or somebody new, or reading, other people, or knowing what's appropriate or not appropriate, many women who had narcissistic mothers as mothers, they really struggle with that because they were never role modeled a healthy relationship to have with themselves. They never role modeled how what healthy boundaries look like, what healthy communication looks like. We were trained, or many women were trained and imprinted with, a good woman is, a good woman does. And um, and really, it's time to break out of those thought patterns of who you're supposed to be, and start moving in the direction of who you are. who you're designed to be, who you're meant to be. That's the direction we're going here, because part of the challenges that women have when they have narcissistic mothers and are successful in other areas of their lives are a deep sense of shame and failure, because here they are looking to everybody else like they have their, like they have their act together, and they do. You have your act together in so many areas, in areas of uh, organizing and keeping things, all the balls juggled, and managing all the emotions and being there for the people that want you there. You have these talents and skills and resiliency and wisdom and smarts and strength. And it's just this area of always feeling like a fraud, because there's a part of you that gets hijacked every single time when it comes to personal relationships. So we have a hard time. Many women have a hard time letting anybody know that they've been struggling with this, that they get emotionally overwhelmed by somebody in their life, that they aren't the strong, tough, smart, crafty, amazing sort of person. They don't see it, because all you see is that you have failed once again. So it's very difficult for women to get help if they've had mothers who were narcissists, because there's that foundational piece of, no matter what you do, you're not going to be good enough. No matter how you achieve, that's the only thing that's going to give you value, and there's nothing you can do about it. So it's so interesting, because the 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 women who need the most help, who are struggling the most, are the ones who look like they've got it together the most, and in many areas they do. How else have you been able to get to this point in life, with good grades and standing up to the boys and fighting for yourself and all of that? You did get that from your narcissist mother, because you had no choice. From day one, from birth, from conception, from even before conception, there was a part of you that was programmed or imprinted or wired to from this trauma, from this narcissism that your mother would carry. And to fight that adversity every day, to move forward and to push forward, it's so humiliating to feel that there's a part of your life that makes you crumble, that you are that person that you never wanted to be. And so you even have to hide that from yourself, either by being domineering or dominant in a relationship, or avoiding relationships altogether, because no one can be trusted. And at the end of the day, it's because you don't really trust yourself, because you see how successful we are in so many other areas. And in this area, which is so normal and so human, um, we struggle. So let me tell you, it's really is normal. It really is human. It really is okay, that so many women are struggling with this, because it's a wound that goes back a long way. Can you do anything about it? Absolutely. All the same ways that you developed your strength, all the same ways that you found success in your professional life, or in all the other areas of your life. The way you found success is because, for whatever reason, you kept learning. You kept facing those challenges and facing those fears and deciding, what, this isn't going to stop me. None of this is going to stop me. None of you are going to stop me. And that's true with having a mother as a narcissist too. You know, we tend to revert to the time when we were most hurt by people. And so when we get triggered, and being triggered just means that there are enough pieces in place. The smell is right, the light is right, the person is the right tone, we're in the right emotional or energetic state, all of that. It's a trigger is something you can't control, and it takes you right back to the time when you felt most hurt. And that is why you get hijacked, because in the most important things, it's overwhelming and it's hard. So how do you reverse this? How do you get out of this never ending, seemingly stuck place of being triggered and hijacked because you were so deeply wounded. How do you do that? How do you move forward? Well, when you moved forward in your career, you found people to mentor you. You found groups of people that could support you. You educated yourself. You kept at it. You faced some challenges. And this is the same way that you grow in this area. You find people to mentor you. You find communities to support you. You gather information. You learn more about who you are and how you work. And what happens is you start to take your power back because you are stuck. You are stuck in that time when you were hurt the most that you were hurt. And if you're watching this, it means that you're ready to take a few steps forward. You're ready to let this stuff go because you're so tired of being hijacked by it all. And unfortunately, you probably can't hide from it anymore. At this stage of the game, parents are getting sick, communities aren't there for each other. And if you have a narcissist as a mother, guess what? They don't have people who are really present for them and they don't let anybody in. So you end up being the one. You end up being the one that steps up. And you usually can't you can't avoid facing um, the narcissism anymore and how it affects you, because now it's not just at Christmas or at Easter. Now it's monthly or weekly or daily. And if you don't figure it out, if you don't start getting what you really were meant to get, loving, kind, supportive, nurturing community, feminine energy, who root for your successes and lift you up when you're low, and know you and understand you and care about you and like you. Until you get those experiences that you were supposed to have, you're going to struggle with this because that's the piece that's missing. You missed that beautiful, feminine, supportive love that absolutely actually exists. People who say, I know you, I understand you, and it's okay. When you start to get those experiences at a deep level, in the times and places when you need it the most, when you feel most insecure, most vulnerable, and people sort of rally around you, when that happens to you, that's how we heal. Sometimes women, they start their emotional healing process when something big that's physical happens. Let's say they get cancer. Let's say they develop an autoimmune deficiency. Let's say they're getting older and the problems they've been able to juggle and deal with are now a lot more difficult to juggle and deal with. So these things happen. We have to start getting what we always needed, what we were supposed to be getting, what we deserved to get from the very beginning. And only when we are able to let down those barriers and connect and understand and get our needs met, that's when we're able to move forward, because it's not about changing the narcissist, because they've got their own journey, they've got their own problems they're dealing with, their own selfishness, their own self-absorption, their own pain, their own wounds, their own, all of that. They are on their path and you are on yours. And so you're not going to be able to get what you need typically from a narcissist. You have to get what you need, what you've been missing, from people who are capable of giving it to you. Because as one of my friends says, they just aren't capable of it. And that's true. There's a lot more going on. You're never really going to understand a narcissist because the world inside their head is really pretty out of touch with reality. It's based on their fears, it's based on their reactions, it's based on their mental health. Maybe something underlying, PTSD or ADD or ADHD or bipolar or some other mental illness. There's stuff that's going on underneath that you will never be able to really understand. And so you have to say, you know what, that's where they're at. That's what they need to do. And I'm going to get what I need from people who are capable of giving it to me, because they are. They absolutely positively are. And the first step is to believe that they exist, and they do. And the second step is to recognize that you can heal, that you can move forward, that this stuff does not have to control you anymore, that you get to keep taking steps and moving and creating success in your personal life and not just in your professional life. You actually get to, there's a whole nother chapter that's waiting for you when you're able to put down and heal from the pain of a wound that was there even before you were conceived. Okay? So if you're stuck, reach out. We're doing this great group, 40 women. When we get to 40, the price is going to quadruple. I don't know how long that's going to take, but we're getting women who are joining all the time. And so if you feel stuck, if you feel alone, if you feel trapped, if you need to move forward, if you're feeling hijacked, reach out, send a flare, make a comment, send me a message, because we're here, and we're here to kind of help you move forward in as gentle and kind and nurturing way as possible, while also helping you gain self-esteem in this area too, because you are amazing. You absolutely are. You've made it this far, and you're gonna be able to turn this one around too, even if you've done tons of therapy, because there's a big piece that's missing. When you're in therapy, it's a head game, right? It's about how to change how you think, but you can't neglect how you feel, and you can't neglect um, your 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 experiences in life. You can't ignore the physicality of what's happened to you, and only when we start changing and getting the experiences and our needs met emotionally and physically as well as mentally, only then are we really able to move forward, because otherwise your body is going to hijack you every single time. So reach out, let me know. I'll get you the information. It's a wonderful group, and it's super affordable right now because we want to get a good foundation of women. So I hope to talk to you soon, and I'll definitely see you tomorrow morning. Bye.